I had a fairly snarky introduction planned for this review until I took this book to work. One of my coworkers, he saw it, and he said that he loved this book so much and that it was read to him, and he read it numerous times when he was a kid. And from this book is one of his mom's favorite sayings. He said he couldn't remember the plot exactly, so I gave him a quick rundown, and he was like, that he just needed to go buy the book so he could read it. And I was like, dude, I got the book. We're at work. It's only 93 pages long. So he sat there at work and read the book. And I'll be darned if I didn't catch him over there surreptitiously wiping away tears from the emotions that this book caused him to feel. When he got done, he was like, he said he just loved the book so much, and he was going to go buy this, and he, to his words, this gorgeous copy of The Little Prince. I guess I've had a lack of education. I read this book for the first time last week. I purchased it last year because it was on the list of the 50 greatest books of all time. And so that's why I bought it. And because of the hurricane and our situation, I just put it, reading it until this year, until last week. And I was blown away by it. I really enjoyed it. I was telling Mrs. Captain about it a couple of days ago. And I gave her kind of the rundown of the plot, and then I was reading some excerpts from it. And honestly, I was getting a little choked up myself as I was telling her about the story. This is number 43 on the list of the greatest books of all time. That was the 2023 edition. Sandwiched in between Frankenstein and Absalom. Does it deserve to be on the list of the 50 greatest books of all time? I mean, The Count of Monte Cristo, The Sun Also Rises, and Dune are not on the top 50. Does this one deserve to be up there? You know what? Let's talk about it. I'm Captain Mike. This is Whiskey and Witerature, and I talk about whiskey and books. And today it is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupery. And I don't know if I said that correctly. Probably not. I apologize. It is what it is. But he was born in 1900. He's a French novelist, poet, and aviator. He was flying international postal routes in 1926. And if you know anything about aviation, you know how dangerous it was to be flying an airplane 100 years ago. In fact, he died in 1944 flying a reconnaissance mission, and it took them 56 years to find the wreckage. The Little Prince was first published in 1943 simultaneously in English and French. My copy has 93 pages, and this is the original Catherine Wood's English translation. Explanation for this book, it does say that it has original artwork. I think it's very similar in style if it's not just a colorized versions of the original artwork from the first book. It's really, I think, well done. It is available on Audible. I didn't listen to it all. It's been adapted to the big screen, the little screen, graphic novels. Like I said, translated to more than 600 languages, and I didn't even know there was more than 600 languages in the world, though apparently there's like 7,000, which I think is just crazy. But anyway, more than 600 languages, 200 million copies sold. The Little Prince. Themes include friendship, loneliness, love, and loss. And despite being a kid's book, or ostensibly a kid's book, it deals with adulting and human nature. Okay, a brief rundown of the plot. What is it about? We have the narrator when he's 6 years old, and he draws a picture of a boa constrictor that has eaten an elephant. He shows it to some adults and says, "Look at this, are you scared?" And they say, "Why would we be scared of a picture of a hat?" So he grows up into an adult and becomes reasonable. One day he is flying and has a mechanical issue and crash lands into the Sahara Desert. There he meets the Little Prince. The Little Prince asks him to draw a picture of a sheep. He does. Thinks it's kind of weird, but he draws a picture of a sheep. The Little Prince says, "I don't like that. Draw me another." So he draws another sheep. The Little Prince says, "I don't like that. Draw me another." So he draws a third sheep. The Little Prince says, "I don't like that one." A little frustrated, of course, our narrator draws a picture of a box and tells the Little Prince the sheep is inside the box. And the Little Prince, he loves it. So they become friends, and the Little Prince tells our narrator through the next few days his story and how he got to be with the narrator. The little prince lives on a house-sized planet that has 3 knee-high sized volcanoes, one of them being extinct. The little prince has to take care of his little planet and weed invasive trees and plants that are constantly coming up, and it's a lot of work for him. One day the seed lands on his little planet and he's looking at it and he watches it and it sprouts and it turns into a shrub, and he's watching it because he's like, is this a bad plant? Do I need to pull it out? The sun comes up and a rose blooms. And he's, oh, hi. And he talks to his rose. And after a while, he feels like the rose is taking advantage of him, making him feed her, build some walls to protect her from drafts, cover her with a glass dome at night so she doesn't get cold. And he feels a little taken advantage of. So he decides to leave his little planet and go explore the universe. So he goes to 6 other planets, also very small planets inhabited by a single individual. And then he comes down to Earth and he lands in the Sahara Desert. So he thinks it's uninhabited because there are no people. First he meets a snake, then a flower, then he climbs a mountain and hears his echo. He sees a rose bush with 5,000 roses. Then he talks to the fox, and then a merchant, and then a train conductor. And he's telling this story over days to our narrator. He gets to the part about the merchant, and the narrator says, I don't care about your merchant. And the little prince says, why don't you care about the merchant? Remember what the fox said? And the narrator said, I don't care what the fox said. And the little prince said, well, why not? And he said, because I'm about to die of thirst. And the little prince says, well, let's go find some water. Let's go find a well. So they walk for a while and they find a well. Now it's just not like a desert well. It's like a well in a village. So our narrator, he gives the little prince some water. And they talk for a while. And he has to go back and fix his airplane. And then he comes back and the little prince tells him that he needs to go back to his planet and that he can't take his body with him. And our narrator says, but I'm going to be sad. And he said, don't be sad. And he went back to his planet, and our narrator fixed his airplane and flew away. We have 3 kids who are adults. We've read a bunch of little kids' books and children's books and stories. And it sounds fairly typical of those. And in some respects it is. I'm going to read an excerpt from the book, from the meeting of the little prince and the fox. Good morning, said the fox. Good morning, the little prince responded politely, although when he turned around, he saw nothing. I am right here, the voice said, under the apple tree. Who are you? Asked the little prince. You are very pretty to look at. I am a fox, the fox said. Come and play with me, proposed the little prince. I am so unhappy. I cannot play with you, the fox said. I am not tamed. What does that mean, tame? It is an act too often neglected, said the fox. It means to establish ties. To establish ties? Just that, said the fox. To me, you are still nothing more than a little boy, who is just like 100,000 other little boys, and I have no need of you. And you, on your part, have no need of me. To you, I am no more than a fox, like 100,000 other foxes. But if you tame me, then we shall need each other. To me, you will be unique in all the world. To you, I shall be unique in all the world. I am beginning to understand, said the little prince. There is a flower. I think she has tamed me. The fox gazed at the prince for a long time. Please tame me, he said. I want to very much, the little prince replied. But I have not much time. I have friends to discover and a great many things to understand. One only understands the things that one tames, said the fox. Men have no more time to understand anything They buy things already made at the shops. But there is no shops anywhere where one can buy friendship. And so men have no friends anymore. If you want a friend, tame me. What must I do to tame you? Asked the little prince. You must be very patient, replied the fox. First of all, you will sit down a little distance from me, like that, in the grass. I shall look at you out of the corner of my eye, and you will say nothing. Words are the source of misunderstandings. But you will sit a little closer to me every day. The next day the little prince came back. It would have been better to come back at the same hour, said the fox. If, for example, you came at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then at 3 o'clock I shall begin to be happy. I shall feel happier and happier as the hour advances. At 4 o'clock I shall already be worrying and jumping about. I shall show you how happy I am. But if you come at just any time, I shall never know at what hour my heart is to be ready to greet you. One must observe the proper rites. So the little prince tamed the fox. And when the hour of his departure drew near, Ah, said the fox, I shall cry. It is your own fault, said the little prince. I never wished you any sort of harm, but you wanted me to tame you. Yes, that is so, said the fox. But now you are going to cry, said the little prince. Yes, that is so, said the fox. Then it has done you no good at all. It has done me good, said the fox, because of the color of the wheat fields. And then he added, Go and look again at the roses. Talking about the bush with the 5,000 roses on it. The fox tells him, Go and look again at the roses. You will understand now that yours is unique in all the world. Talking about the little prince's rose on his planet. He's saying, go back and look at the 5,000 roses you saw and how you felt about them. And then think about your rose on the planet. Go and look again at the roses. You will understand now yours is unique in all the world. Then come back and to say goodbye to me, and I will make you a present of a secret. The little prince went away to look again at the roses. You are not like my rose, he said. As yet you are nothing. No one has tamed you, and you have tamed no one. You are like my fox when I first knew him. He was only like 100 other thousand foxes. But I have made him my friend, and now he is unique in all the world. And the roses were very much embarrassed. You are beautiful, he went on, but you are empty. And he went back to meet the fox. Goodbye, he said. Goodbye, said the fox. And now here's my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. What is essential is invisible to the eye, the little prince repeated, so that he would be sure to remember. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. It is the time I have wasted for my rose, said the little prince, so that he would be sure to remember. I'm not going to read any more of the book. I think that you should read the book. On the back, it says, and I'll say it again, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. And that was my coworker's mom's favorite saying. She said it all the time. This book is amazing. It deserves to be one of the greatest books of all time. Number 43, you can judge that for yourself where you think it belongs exactly. But here's my challenge to you. If you have a copy of this book, read it again. If you haven't read it in a while, read this book. And then find someone that you love or like, or if you're married, read it to your spouse. Read certain parts of it to your spouse. You will know which parts to read. Read it to your kids, certain parts. If you're a kid, read it to your parents. I dare you to do that and not cry. If you read this book out loud to someone that you love and you don't cry, you don't have a soul. I've said that before in other reviews, but it is what it is. I mean, this book is great. It's a great kids book. It's a great book for adults. And I understand why it has sold 200 million copies. No question about it. Definitely, I'm a fan of The Little Prince. I'm ashamed that I have not read this in my life, and I'm glad that I have now experienced it. I think it is fantastic. I'm glad it's on my shelf, and I think it should be on your shelf as well. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I have not watched the movie. I might just do that tonight. I always wait to watch the movies until I've done my review, or certainly at least until I've finished reading the book. But I'm pretty excited to see it, and I think this book is super fantastic. All right, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you've enjoyed the video, like it. It's free. Subscribe to see more of my content. Again, I talk about whiskey and books. But for now, my friends, you know what to do. I hope you're reading something good and drinking something great, and wear that damn hat. Cheers.